friends. I wanted to take a couple of minutes today to talk about something that is not necessarily easy to talk about, and that is suicide. The subject of suicide has been kind of at the forefront of the news in the last week and a half because two kind of major public figures, Kate Spade and Anthony Bourdain, took their own lives within the last week. There's been a lot of kind of commentary and speculation and discussion about the fact that statistically suicides in the US have been going up. And suicide is incredibly complicated because while there still is like mourning and sadness, it also brings about a lot of questions, sometimes a lot of scrutiny, and it's just complicated. For me personally, I know that I've been open and have talked a little bit about my history with being diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And I wouldn't say that I've ever been suicidal. I think at my low point, I did have a moment when I was a freshman in college that I didn't necessarily feel like I wanted to take my own life. But just the prospect of being alive felt so exhausting in that moment that I just didn't want to anymore. And I called somebody that I knew cared about me, and he was able to kind of get me back to a place where I could have a little bit better of a perspective about it. And I think that I really have worked very hard since then to kind of address the needs that I have as far as like medication and things, and know myself well enough to know when I'm starting to feel overwhelmed, to be able to cope with it better. But I know that everybody's experience with mental health and with their issues and their demons is different. It's hard to be able to kind of put a blanket solution on everybody. I think that it is different for each person. But the interesting part about the conversation over the last week and a half when it comes to Kate Spade and Anthony Bourdain, it's two people that, you know, if you're looking at them kind of objectively, two people that are successful, have good careers, are getting to, you know, see the world and, you know, seemingly do or have gotten to do what they love. People with families, with, you know, significant others, with children. I think that it's very easy for us to say, well, I don't understand why they would do this. Like, look how much they have. But it just goes to show that it can be such a powerful thing, depression, that in that moment where they made that decision, there must have been something that made them feel like, despite all of those things, that there was no other choice. And that's incredibly sad to think that they didn't feel like there was any other option, because there's always another choice. So I guess my biggest thing is I hope that if you guys ever feel like there is no other choice, I hope that you will remember that there is another choice, that you have people that love you, that there are professional people that can help you sort through how you're feeling and be able to handle it in a way that doesn't take you out of the world, because you are important and you have lots of things to do before you leave this world. So yeah, so I just, you know, I just hope that you all are taking care of yourselves, and that you know that people love you. So, mwah.